Hello and welcome back to a different kind of video. Today we're going to be ranking the Pokemon Horizons characters on this tier list, and it's something pretty different, but I thought it would be fun. And I'm going to include all of these dudes, even like the one-offs like Nemona and Kabu, and like Liko's parents, Luca and Alex. I just thought it would be interesting to see where all these dudes stack up around 41 episodes in. So let's get into it. Alright, so first off we have Agate. She is the explorer who we've probably seen the least of. So I'm going to put her in promising but need more. I feel like she's pretty interesting. She has a really cool design, and she had some deep conversations with Spinel regarding what their plan is to do next. So I'm looking forward to her actually joining the fold and becoming a threat to our main heroes, because she'll be pretty fun. And then I'm going to skip over Freed for now, and we're going to do Brassius. I'm going to say Mare we need more at the minute, because he was only in one episode, and it was a great episode, but I feel like we could have got so much more for him. So I do hope he returns one day maybe, and we see a little bit more. But yeah, not much to say about him. He was pretty much how I expected him to be. And then we have Diana, Liko's grandmother, and I'm going to put her in solid. I was toying with great, because she came and dominated this show. Like, she took over and created so much excitement around this Lucius plotline, and her whole mansion basically got destroyed, so that just completely changed the game. But I think she's pretty solid of a character. She moved the plotline along, and I'm sure she will come back into play with Hamba, and hopefully we see them battle one day. That would be really cool. Next I'm gonna do Onya. Her name was Konya, and I don't know why they changed that, because that was pretty stupid. But Onya, I'm going to put her in promising but need more as well, because I feel like when we saw her early on, she was really interesting. She had this really funny personality where she was just like obsessed with Sprigatito and had all these fantasies about like taking it on a walk and all this stuff. It was pretty funny, but I feel like we haven't seen much of her since that really happened. But yeah, she was definitely a cool character to go behind Amiphio's, his strong, stern demeanour, and you know, she was kind of the light-heartedness of that group. Next I'm going to do Nemona, and again, I'm going to say promising but need more. Obviously we all know her from the games, but this is ranking her solely on her appearance in Horizons. She was really cool, and I love how she's just exactly like the games, where she's just demanding a battle. Straight away she wants to battle Roy, and I mean, it would be such a waste if she didn't return and have like a proper battle later on. So I really hope she does, and I'm sure she will. She's like one of the main faces of Scarlet and Violet, so I hope it's not one of those wasted potential sort of situations again. And then I'm going to do Liko's mother, Luca, and she was great in her episode, but I'm going to have to put her in Mare Need More. I feel like it is a little bit harsh. She could be here, but yeah, she was in like half an episode, if anything, so she definitely needs to come back. And I think she will, definitely, because she made such an impact. And then I might as well do Liko's dad as well, Alex. Same again, really. He didn't make enough of an impact to really do much. I liked how he was really worried about Liko. That kind of set up a whole episode dynamic, and that was pretty cool, but yeah, I think that's fine for him. And then I'm going to do Zerk, and again, he should be called Zir. They kind of changed his name again. It's the stupidest name change I've ever seen. He's trash. Like, he's done nothing. All he does is stand behind Amiphio and look scared, and well, he tries to look all strong, but really he's just scared. And he got beaten by Liko, who had just received Sprigatito, and all she had to do was put a few leaves on the guy's Rhydon's face, and he was done. This guy's a joke. And then I'm going to do Iono, and I'm going to do solid. I think she was pretty good, to be honest. Every time she appears, she has this whole thing with Dot, this kind of rivalry in their streams, and they help each other and collab, and it's just really wholesome every time we see her, and I want to see more of her. I hope that her and Dot get that battle one day, because that was teased at as well. So yeah, I really like her. Alright, I've just added a few more because I realised I forgot a few. We have Anne, Liko's friend from school. I don't really know where to put her. I probably should have made another tier, because I don't really feel like she's solid, but also don't feel like we need more. I'm going to say Mare need more. I mean, there is this whole theory that she's giving intel to the explorers, which is actually really interesting because every time she turns up, the explorers seem to know exactly where the Vault Tacklers are. So it does kind of add up, but I doubt that's a thing. But she's still pretty cool, and it's nice every time like Liko rings back home, well, to the school, and they're talking about what's been happening and different captures and all this stuff. Which, yeah, so she adds a bit of real life to this world and this journey of Liko's. And then we have Onyx. Again, I'm going to put him in Mare Need More. I know I've got a lot here, but I mean, come on, we see him once pretty much, and he's with his Garganackle, whatever you call it, spreading the salt everywhere, and he had a pretty menacing and cool appearance, but it wasn't enough. But as for Sango, I'm going to put her in Promising because she's so unhinged. That one scene was just insane where she tells Clady to explode and destroys the whole damn mansion. That was honestly shocking, like one of the most shocking scenes I've watched, and I'm surprised Horizons went that hard in that scene. It was really good. But let's slowly rattle off the rest of these explorers. Actually, first I'll do Kabu. I'm going to put him in Solid. I don't think we need much more of him. I feel like he did exactly what he needed to do. Obviously, it will be welcome to see him again because he's such a great character. But I'm so happy that Horizons went back to Galar and gave justice to this character that we didn't see in Journeys. So, yeah, fair play. And then we will do Hamba. I'm going to put this man in Great. Like, I don't even care. We haven't seen that much of him, but his screen presence is fantastic. Every time he's on screen, he's menacing. You know, he's giving the eyes. You can tell, like, he demands so much respect from all of the other explorers. And when he's speaking, they all just shut up. Like, he is going to be a big character going forward, I think. And obviously his battle with Amethio was probably the best battle in the series so far, so what can I say? And then we have Spinel, and this one's really hard for me because Spinel's... I was considering putting him in Peak because he's that good. But I think I'm going to knock it down to Great because we haven't seen too much of him. He kind of disappeared after his whole arc. He did make a few weird, silly decisions. He could have got away with that pendant so much easier. But I feel like he has his own way of thinking, his own plans, and which is so different to anything we've seen before. He's just a really menacing villain, and I think the Explorers are just such a good idea. And when they're not in the show, you can feel it because it just feels a bit more boring, a bit more standard. When they're in the show, the stakes are way higher, and a lot of that's down to Spinel. And then finishing us off for the Explorers, we have Amethio, and I have to put him in Peak, man. Like, from the moment this man was introduced, I knew this guy was going to be one of my favourite characters. He has Ceruledge, which is my favourite Scarlet and Violet Pokemon, which is just an even bigger bonus. I know Ceruledge is pretty overhyped, and it's very popular as it is, but genuinely I don't care. I love that Pokemon so much. It's probably in my top 5 of all the Pokemon now, just because of how cool that design is. And it's been really cool in Horizons as well. Every time we see it battle with Freed, although they barely finish a battle, it's just so cool to see it on screen. And Amethio's arc and character development has been really good. Like, we see him wanting to get stronger, we see him chasing down that Rayquaza, Ultra Ball in hand, and then he goes to Hamba and asks for training. We haven't seen him since that, I don't think, which I can feel that. Like, it feels like we haven't seen him in a while. But yeah, he's a fantastic character. Right, and then finally we're on to our main crew, the Rising Vault Tacklers, and this is going to be interesting. I'm going to kick us off with Ludlow. I'm going to say Promising, but we need more. Because this man, he's really interesting. He's always spitting poetry. He seems like this wise old guy who's just always seems to know what's happening. But when he pulled out that Quagsire, the hype had no right being as high as it was, because it's literally just a Quagsire, but this man will make anything hype. I can't wait to see him do more. I think when he gets involved in the plot a bit more and starts teaching his wisdom to a few of the crew, I think then we'll truly see peak Ludlow. But next I'm going to do Molly, and again, Promising, but we need more. We haven't really seen much. She did well in Our Believer's Forest, but that was quite a while ago. Obviously she came out for the Mousehold episode, but she hasn't done enough for me. I can't wait to see the connection with Joy and her running away from home, because I know that is exactly what it's going to be. She was a Nurse Joy that didn't want to stay in the Pokemon Center, so she ran away. But yeah, she's really interesting, but for now I think we need a little bit more. Next up we have Murdoch, the crew's chef, the Sanji of the team. I don't know with this one. It's tough. I'm tempted to put him in great. It's great. I think he is great, to be honest. I think he does a lot for the crew. We see him get emotional whenever Dot goes out on her own. And he's involved daily with their lives and what they eat, and he just adds a lot of life to everything, really. So I think it fits. And then we have the ship's mechanic, which I think I'll probably say the same again. She's great. I think the recent episodes have really boosted her for me. She would probably be promising but need more before, but she's definitely gone up. She had her own episode with the Pokeball Factory lady, and in general she's just been seen to be doing more, going out buying steel for the ship, and she's just involved a lot in everything that goes on. So I think she's a really great character. We also see how she met Freed. She was working in Hoenn or something, and Freed went and picked her up. So we saw her dreams and how she aspires to be more, and that's why she joined the crew, and that was just done really well, I think. We're left with the main four pretty much. I'm going to do Dot next, and she's peak. She might be the best character in this show. She gets so much development from coming out of her shell to bonding with this new Tinkertink Pokemon, because she relates with it, because it was exactly like her. And I know there's an episode today which is airing with her mum, so she's going to get even more development. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, she's just been such a surprise for me, and genuinely she competes for the spot of the best character in the show at the minute anyway. And then Liko, I'm going to go great. I'm going to put her as the best. These aren't really in order, but I'm going to put her as the best great. I think she gets a lot of stick from people because she doesn't actually do that much, and her growth is really, really subtle. But I still think she's a great protagonist, and it's just nice to see the world through her eyes, and how she is so empathetic with people and Pokemon. How she has that side of Ash that she wants to befriend them all, and whereas Roy has the battling side and Liko has the befriend side, so it kind of works perfectly. But yeah, Liko is a great written character, I think, and I love her bonds with Hatena and Sprigatito, and I think there's more potential there than there is that we've actually got at the minute. I think she could be really great in the future. And then the final two, we have Roy. This one's tough for me. I'd say maybe 10 episodes ago this would be a very easy one to pick, but I feel like he has dropped off a little bit. He did have the Crocodile episode, but he hasn't really done that much in this second half of this chapter. I'd like to see him maybe training with his Watcher a bit more, because it seems like that thing's just disappeared. But I'm going to put him in peak because I think he is such a great character. He was one of the biggest surprises for me, just his determination and what he wants from his Pokemon journey. He's just all round really good, and like I said, he has that side of Ash Ketchum where he's determined to battle, and he wants to face Rayquaza again, even though he's not going to do anything. He's not even going to scratch it, but he still wants to do it. So I think for me, Roy is an easy peak, and I think he's only going to grow and get better. Obviously it's tough being a joint protagonist, as we know from Journeys, but with Liko having pretty much the whole story with Lucius, she's got the belt, she's got all the Pokemon, so he's going to get backseated sometimes, but let's just hope he still remains relevant and continues doing his own thing. I hope he battles more, and maybe one day he'll take on the gyms or something. That would be really cool, but for now we'll see. And lastly, it's the boy Freed. I mean, what do you want me to say? We all know he's in peak, and he's probably the best character in the show, because he is him. He is the guy. He will save the day all the time. Sometimes it's annoying, but he'll do it with flair. He'll do it with style. He can battle, he can talk, he can just maneuver his way out of any situation. He's just really cool, and he does remind me a bit of Gojo from JJK, the way he's just nonchalant and oblivious to everything, but then when it comes down to it, he will get serious. Like, this man was on top of the tower telling Amicio to his face, I'm on the phone right now, while Amicio wanted to battle him, and he leaps off the tower, winks at Liko and Roy, lands on Charizard, and he's ready for battle. Like, this man, he's the man, like, simple as that. But that's my ratings for the Pokemon Horizons characters. I don't think I missed anyone. You know, maybe that Mitchell dude who was Murdoch's cooking rival, maybe he'll come back. He'll just be like a meh, need more. I think that's pretty much it. I feel like I'm happy with this list. You know, the core crew members all are Murdoch, Liko, Roy. I think they are all the best crew members. Molly and Ludlow, we need a lot more from them. And then you've got kind of your one-off characters like Luca, Alex, and then obviously the explorers that we haven't seen too much of yet. But yeah, Spinel and Amicio are the best explorers so far, hands down, and Hamba is just a beast. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this list. But let me know what you think. Let me know who your favourite characters are in Horizons. Who do you want to see more of? And who's the best? Who would be in the peak section for you? Let me know. I'd love to know your thoughts. But that's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And I'll see you next time.